Previously on Mercy Point.
Damaged goods.
You're alive. And Grote says you'll make a full recovery.
Surprised he's even talking to you.
You're telling me you're afraid? Of course not. Such feelings are not a part of my core programming.
They told me that in appreciation for my candor, they would allow you to decide whether to stay or to go.
You guys stood by me, and I'll never forget that.
You're definitely on the road to recovery, CJ. Your vital stats seem back to normal. Reflex is still a little off, though.
Oh, come on, I caught it, Halen, didn't I?
But what you need to catch is some more rest before I put you back on full duty.
Sounds like a PTC.
I must admit to being unfamiliar with such a distress signal.
We haven't used this code in 3 years. We used to use the pulse tone, but we switched over to thermal because it carries further.
Well, the signal is off the map. No one has ever been out that far in the Sahara and lived to tell about it.
I know where you're taking this, CJ, and I'm not sending you back out with an aircraft. Not yet, anyway.
Then when?
When I can afford to lose you. So, I see you are a school teacher on the rest board. How can I help you? Well, I'm afraid that I'm losing my mind. And what makes you think that, Serena? Well, I'm sure you noticed the bags under my eyes. I haven't slept in 4 days. I've been having the most horrible nightmares. And now I'm afraid to go to school in case they somehow come true. What do you imagine would happen if these nightmares did come true? That the children would die.
That's very impressive. Proteoglycan's the best thing for connective tissue regeneration. I wish all my patients had the courage to drink the stuff.
All you need is a goal. And thanks to you, I've still got one. Now, if I can pass that physical come April, I will be out in the Sahara on the next mission.
CJ, what is it about the Sahara?
Ever since I was a kid, I've had this vision of me, you know this, in a one-man ship, finding a new planet even more beautiful than Earth, and being the first human being to step foot on that planet. I just want to do something really important.
More important than saving lives. I hate these small pods. Whose turn is it to pop the hatch?
I told it in.
Then I'm going in.
Good. Can you switch off that distress signal when you're at it?
He picked me. Of all people, he picked me. God sent me here.
Delphine quadrant completed. No Maxwells identified.
How many quadrants have you been through?
Oh, at least 200?
173. Only 1,418 more quadrants remain.
Have you checked Earth?
No, my family doesn't have Earth rights. Besides, it couldn't possibly be that simple.
Pardon me, Dr. Maxwell. The medcraft has arrived and we have a patient in critical condition.
Thanks, Ani. End search. Yep. Work.
Resume search, Het. Just for grins. Check for Grode's family on Earth.
Yes, Doctor. Continuing search.
Decontamination.
Pull them out of an emergency pod.
The one that sent the alarm?
Patient is Earth-born 41-year-old male.
Suffering from severe dehydration, frostbite, and overexposure to unknown levels of radiation.
Body temperature 91, BP 70/30. Sir, can you hear me? This is Mercy Point
I
Hospital.
know where I am, and soon you will know what they are. Everything will be revealed. Loved ones, lost love, everything you're looking for.
Sir, can you tell us your name?
My name is Edmund P. Clark. He sent me back from the great beyond with a purpose which affects all mankind. Are you listening?
You have our full attention, Mr. Clark. Possible hypothermia dementia. I want his EPG on the ride
I've
here.
come to determine if you're ready, if our species is ready.
Ready for what?
Transformation.
Honey?
Forgive me.
Notify Dr. Cook we want a brain scan and get Drew in here right away.
Of course.
Let's get him to trauma now. You know what? I'm going to meet you there. First, I want to find out where he went.
Your brain scan shows very normal theta wave cycles, which generally indicates a lack of prior significant psyche trauma.
That's good, isn't it?
Yes, but it doesn't explain our problem. What I'd like to do is induce a REM cycle and see if we can actually recreate your nightmares on my biz gear.
Excuse me, Dr. Cook.
What is it, Ani?
Dr. Maxwell needs you in Trauma 3 for an emergency brain scan.
Tell him I'll be right there. I'll be right back.
Temp's about normal now, but it was below freezing when I found him babbling on about meeting God.
Contam scan show up anything funky?
That's what you call funky. Looks like the air was purified in here. Particulates were less than 1 part per million.
Probably explains his delusional state.
I checked every private and commercial database for the past 5 years. Not one record of this vessel's whereabouts.
That's because it's military.
So what? You think this guy was on some kind of classified mission?
There's only one way to find out.
God only knows what day it is. What month for that matter? My left thruster's out. My ration supply is not too far behind. 3 years my ass. I'm gonna die out here. Oh, God. Oh, God.
You requested my presence.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I've just finished a meeting with personnel, and I was wondering whether you had made your decision about staying at Mercer Point.
I have not.
I suspected as much, and that's why I have decided to force the issue. It's called Requay. It's a strategy game. The object is to manipulate through touch.
I am familiar with Requay, but I fail to see what this toy has to do with my tenure here.
You win, you're free to leave. You lose, you stay until I say so.
And why should my future at this hospital be determined by chance?
Not by chance, Doctor, by skill. The same reason you were brought here in the first place. Your move.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, dear.
Was I sleeping? I haven't slept for weeks, you know. But of course you know. You haven't slept much either. Rest easy, Doctor. Soon you will find your way. And you will not be alone.
We put you under for a while so that we could stabilize your vitals, which are almost back to normal.
Normal? Nothing is normal about me, don't you see? I'm a prototype designed by the Creator himself.
Well, he certainly did a wonderful job. Managed to pull through from some pretty intense exposure.
Exposure? Yes, I was exposed. Most definitely exposed.
Sorry, I was with a patient.
It's okay. This is Dr. Cook. She's going to be assisting us on your case.
Ani filled me in. Have scanned the temporal and frontal lobes.
I was exposed to the light and the truth.
Indie play hip. Can I talk to you privately?
Sure. Keep an eye on him.
His pineal gland is almost double the normal size.
That explains the delusions. It's pressing on the cortex.
Well, yes and no. The enlarged gland is causing hydrocephalus, but the affected area of the cortex has no bearing on the patient's mental health.
Then what's wrong with him?
At a glance, I'd have to say his nervous system has been exposed to some form of stimulation, causing accelerated growth.
What kind of stimulation?
It would have to be some form of radiation, an extreme spectral light, the source of which baffles me.
I know a symptom this patient displays is baffling.
Maybe, but one thing's for certain, growth. If the gland keeps growing at the current rate, Mr. Clark's going to die of an acute brain herniation.
Dr. Maxwell, there is a CODAR patient currently arriving in Bay 2.
You certainly have your hands full. Anything else I can do?
No, I'll let you know.
Helen, we have to talk.
CJ, the answer
No,
is...
it's about Edmund Clark. I went on board his pod. I watched the last entry in his vid log. The man was way out there, Helen.
He still is.
I'm serious.
I think he went further than anybody who ever lived to tell about it, and I want to hear his tale before somebody else does.
And who'd that somebody be?
He was on board a JMF pod. How long before you think some five-star flat top shows up to welcome him home?
Great. Thank you for waiting patiently, Serena. Now, when you enter the REM state, I want you to describe to me what you're experiencing.
I'm at school. I can hear the children in the classroom behind me. I'm walking up a long, dark corridor. It's an airlock. I hear a noise outside the door, like banging. And the closer I get to it, the louder it becomes.
What's on the other side of the door, Serena?
No, I can't. I can't look. I'm too scared.
I think she's at a boob job. She's too young for a boob job. They do that at birth now. What are you talking about?
A secret agent man is a secret agent woman.
No one can replace you now. Except me.
Starship Troopers Dina Meyer stars in Secret Agent Man, Tuesdays this fall on UPN.
What are you doing?
Prepping this patient for surgery.
Where's Groot?
Somebody came in critical.
Oh, another one, huh? Now how about this guy?
You have the gift.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gerardo. CJ.
You possess vision. Just like her, you'll both see the truth when I'm gone.
Where exactly are you going?
He picked me. I'm the first dewdrop of a new civilization. All new. My transformation will be the first step of mankind's evolution. Do you know what awaits you, my friends, out in the Sahardic?
I don't actually, but I certainly would like to find out.
And you will. Our entire species will inherit the new Eden. What a place. What a glorious place.
You found an inhabitable planet out there. Is that what you saw in your vidlock?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Do you have any evidence, any proof?
Proof. I will be proven once my transformation is complete. But there are dark forces. Those who want to hold me back, keep me from my appointed destiny. Until I am gone, you must keep them at bay.
We've got a power grid worker from Mod 4. Lunar born named Estrel Shea. Took a major overload on a collector shield. We can't seem to revive her.
I heard the incom alert. Looks like electrocution. See where the exit points are, but...
Stop. Yeah, stop. Stop! Stop! Don't worry. I won't let them take you too.
Excuse me, sir. You have to let us help her.
It's not her time.
Fine.
Not yet.
Fine. Exam room 3, full dermal.
Not yet. It's not her time.
I'm right here with you. Just let yourself go back into the airlock.
I'm afraid to get too close. I know I have to. There's someone out there.
Who is it? Who's out there, Serena?
It's me. I'm outside and I can't get back in. I'm dying. I know I shouldn't, but I have to open it. I have to.
It's all right. This is just a sedative. It'll help you sleep for a while.
Before the surgery, you must tell them the risk of stopping my transformation is too great. The cost to mankind would be devastating. A whole new paradigm would be lost. Such a tragedy.
Believe me, I am trying to understand you, but right now I need you to take it easy.
We have the opportunity to realize our futures as pure energy beings, to live forever on the new Eden, a place for the two of you, invulnerable to ruin. Just think of it.
I wish I could see this place, this new Eden you keep talking about.
It's a planet. Just like Earth, the constant has 21,600 minutes of arc. Gravitational pressure is identical. Atmospheric gases are carbon conductive. All the necessities, and you have seen it, CJ, in a dream. A dream she's a part of. That's what draws you into the great beyond, isn't it? Isn't it?
Doctors? Doctors?
What's up?
Lieutenant Salazar is here on behalf of the Joint Military Force.
And?
She's come to claim your patient.
Dark forces.
I told you they would come.
She's waiting upstairs to debrief us.
We must all confront our pasts, or we will never find our futures.
Go. I'll stay with him.
Dr. Patang, may I ask you something?
Haven't you already?
What would you say makes humans laugh?
From a purely physiological standpoint, human laughter is nothing more than an neuromuscular involuntary response. How tragic. they've finally gotten to you.
38 months ago, Lieutenant Edmund P. Clark lost control of his transport while performing an unsanctioned inter-orbit flight on Ganymede 9. His speed was recorded at nearly twice the safety threshold. Fortunately, only one civilian was killed. Rather than spend 25 years in a military prison, Clark volunteered for a classified one-way mission into the Sahardic aboard a fully automated Nexus pod built to sustain life for up to 3 years. During this time, Clark agreed to chart his course and record all relevant information into a bid log. Unfortunately, we lost all contact with him.
Until now. So Clark's back, and now you want to stake your claim.
Technically, he is still a prisoner. Whatever information he has inside of his head officially belongs to us.
From what I gather, what's in his head is about to kill him.
Which is why he's been prepped for immediate surgery to lessen the swelling on his brain.
I'll have to speak to General Saran, but I can tell you right now that the JMF's concern will be that doing anything to his brain may threaten the loss of vital information.
Let me just play devil's advocate here, okay? What if Clark isn't crazy, and he really is undergoing some kind of transformation?
Chances of Clark dying of hydrocephalus are far greater than for him to suddenly turn into a messiah.
Okay. We have a patient with potentially fatal symptoms, so here's the compromise. We'll do the surgery after Rima conducts a Vizgir session with Lieutenant Salazar present.
Is even that safe, given his condition?
Now, Vizgir is only dangerous in cases of coma or severe mental incapacitation. You said yourself that he was cognizant. Lieutenant Salazar, you'll inform me if the general finds this acceptable.
I'll contact him right away.
Hip scan.
Detecting cardiac tissue damage with an intractable arrhythmia.
That's consistent with most electro cases. Let's give her 80 rums of sterocarb that should stabilize her HR. Let's take a CBC and a CAT spec for her renal damage.
Myoglavin is impeding arterial blood flow.
You want to tell me why?
Without specific knowledge concerning how this patient was electrocuted, I'm afraid that's impossible, Dr. Maxwell.
Ani said you sent for a nurse?
I need you to stay with her, Molly. Demilla called me down to the OR for an emergency viz gear. If anyone needs me, they can reach me there. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay.
All you have to do, Mr. Clark, is close your eyes and relax.
You won't find it. You can't find it, but I found it. He showed it to me. 100 million billion planets. What were the chances of finding another? I know. I saw.
Sorry.
This reading has to be incorrect. According to this, he is still utilizing 33.1% of his cerebral cortex.
And that's after an endostatic pulse.
The density of a diamond is entirely dependent on the tetrahedral arrangement of its carbon atoms.
The outcome of the race rests in your hands.
President, were slain 2 days ago.
We can.
We have a device that can allow us to send one human being back in time 7 days.
Engage! Your job will be to brief us on the events about to happen so they can be prevented.
Something really bad's gonna happen.
Get ready for the ride of your life.
I gotta get a desk job.
7 days, Wednesdays on UPN. If you like...
How are you feeling, Mr. Clark?
Like it's almost time to leave, Dr. Breslauer. For all of us to leave.
And go where?
Some will go to new places. You will go to old. But like your sister, you will not go alone. You will follow him. After all, you led him there in the first place.
What more evidence do you need? The man obviously saw something so profound that it blew his mind, not to mention your viscera.
That could have simply been a malfunction, CJ. He may believe he's witnessed something, but I think we're only witnessing a disturbed man on the brink of a brain hemorrhage.
That is what you think. But what do you feel? Your patient lost her footing, not her mind. You must watch your step. You must ask more questions of yourself and realize that science is not the only answer.
We have to go in.
Yes, go in. You built this place on the edge of the great unknown. Now use your authority to help me help us cross to the other side.
General Saran has got to be notified before any surgery. This man losing his mind is one thing, but the JMF does not want to risk losing his memories.
With all due respect, Lieutenant, this is an operating room, not a war room, regardless of what the military thinks.
Dr. DeMiller, I believe there are still 2 moves to make, but I can state with 98% certainty that I've already won.
That's what I like about you, Batong. Modesty is not part of your vocabulary.
Neither is mercy.
Tell him it's not a game. But there is a prize for all of us, even you. It's all around you, don't you see?
Don't worry, Mr. Clark. We are doing our best to battle the dark forces.
I better go help Jamila hold him off.
Oh, easy, easy, easy. I can't let you go anywhere until we fix that problem in your head, but we are gonna have to fix it.
You can't fix what isn't broken, but you must break what you cannot fix.
Wanna run that by me again?
Look at your life, not mine. What do you see? 2 paths, 2 choices. One wrong, one right.
How do you know so much?
It's not what I know that matters. It's what I've seen. Destiny. My destiny. When will you both see yours?
I saw this in your pod. You have any idea what it is?
Compressed carbon. Just like you do, it rests on the precipice of perfection. One step away of realizing its full potential, becoming a diamond for all to behold. Go to her.
She's already here. You said so yourself.
Yes. But first, there's another who needs your help. The woman whose hands touch the heavens. Use your gift.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Clear?
If I can't figure out how to convert her rhythm, I'm going to send her down to the organ lab and give her a new heart.
How did this happen?
Supposedly a power grid accident, but all her symptoms are completely atypical.
The woman whose hands touched the heavens. Could she have been electrocuted by something else? Natural event?
Well, there's no lightning up here, remember? I mean, unless we're talking about a solar flare or an ion storm.
Usually happens around large concentrations of machinery.
Right, which would explain why there was no entry point. Hip, give me an AP gradient on Miss Shea. Cardio wand recalibrated for measured conduction parameters. Arrhythmia corrected.
It worked! I don't believe it. I mean, where the hell did that come from? It wasn't hell. I can tell you that much.
Hey, Lieutenant Clark just saved a woman in exam 3, an ion storm victim.
Really? How exactly did he do that?
Would you believe me if I told you?
Clark was a medic, you know. Worked on terraform colonies before he became a flyboy. Career path very similar to yours, actually. Anyway, it doesn't surprise me that he could properly diagnose a patient afflicted with a deep space weather phenomenon.
It doesn't surprise me that you'd see it that way.
Activate laser saw.
Activated.
What's happening?
Okay, the laser saw just died.
He could be next. Talk to us, Hip.
Patient is experiencing hypertension and acute renal failure.
Get him 10 meds of hydrochlor.
10 megs of hydrochlor.
I know that you have been a bit preoccupied, but I was curious to know...
You nearly had me stumped.
Condolences.
I don't know what to say. Batang, you never cease to amaze me.
That is precisely why I have decided to stay. I try to imagine this hospital without the benefit of my insight. And frankly, it frightens me.
Well, all the same, I'm glad you've chosen to stay.
Good. Because despite my best efforts, somehow this place has become my prize.
Look strong.
Hip, give me your renal output reading.
Kidney function stabilized.
So we've got his kidneys in check.
Time to move upstairs.
Well, just thinking out loud here. What if the renal failure was a reflex reaction from Clark's body to distract us from removing the gland?
CJ, you're starting to sound like a disciple.
What about the exploding vis gear and the busted laser saw?
In a word, coincidence.
You sure about that?
Honestly? No.
Kidneys again, Hip.
Renal failure is a secondary symptom. Mr. Clark is now in full cardiac arrest.
Here we go. Clear.
0 cardiac response.
50 megs Vitrino.
He's got a weak pulse with poor perfusion.
Won't hold. 50 more.
Heart rate detected.
We're not out of the clear yet. What about the gland? His brain is still swelling.
Scanning indicates swelling has reversed.
How's he doing? Great.
He may have been your prisoner, but now he's our patient.
And until he's stabilized, it's our responsibility to protect him from anything and anyone who threatens his life.
The bottom line is that Mr. Clark is on the verge of mental and physical collapse. And until we can find out why and what to do about it, retrieving your information is our lowest priority.
Do you remember who you're talking to?
Sure I do, Thomas. You remember me pushing your sorry ass all the way through lunar base training?
You have 3 hours.
Thank you. Guess the military training comes in handy once in a while.
Very impressive, Harris.
Well, you weren't so bad yourself. In fact, maybe you should consider taking my place when I retire.
Planning on leaving?
Sooner or later, and I can't think of a better replacement.
I'm very flattered, Harris. So you think I could take a 3-week vacation first?
I can't explain it, but Hippocrates was right. The hydrocephalus is resolving. The intracranial pressure is no longer critical.
I underestimated your powers, doctors.
And we underestimated yours.
Your condition has dramatically improved, even if none of us are exactly sure why.
Oh, but I am. It has all been revealed. And now I understand. All your lives can be transformed. Just like mine.
Arnie.
No, it's all right. Her life has been transformed in ways you haven't understood. She helped you with the virus, and the virus made her human. Now you must follow her evolution. There's so much to see. So much to do. For all of us.
Fortunately for us, you have plenty of time to set us straight.
Yes, CJ. Yes. I have forever.
Hip.
Patient is deceased.
Cardio 1.
My God.
Time of death, 3:33.
What happened, Hip?
An apparent energy wave of unknown origin has passed through the hospital.
Damage to systems?
None whatsoever.
What is it, CJ?
Coordinates.
It's where?
I don't know.
Excuse me, Dr. Maxwell, but I've just located your family.
Where?
Exactly where Dr. Breslauer suggested. On Earth. Your father is currently waiting to speak with you in Hollow Consult.
My father.
Hippocrates, I can't find my patient, Serena Hine, and I never had a chance to give her an ID tracker. Any idea where she might be?
Forgive me, Dr. Cook. Do you have any specific suggestions on where I might search?
I wish I did. Hip, I need you to check your monitoring system. Tell me how many times my office doors have been open in the last 2 hours.
None, but your closet door has been opened.
Serena, it's okay.
I'm sorry. I woke up and you weren't here and I didn't know if I was still dreaming.
You're gonna be fine. It's okay. I know what your problem is. You haven't lost your mind. You just lost your footing.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah. Loved ones. Lost love. Everything will be revealed.
What did he say?
He said he wants to see me.
Oh, crap. So is he coming?
No. He's too old to make a trip out here.
So you're going there, right?
I can't go to Earth right now.
What are you talking about? You haven't seen him in 15 years. You have to go. As your boss, I insist that you go right now.
What about?
About what?
What about we go?
Why we?
Why? Because I haven't been there before, and you have. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm afraid
Crowd.
I want him to meet you. The only woman I have ever loved.
And that affected your primary process, creating a biochemical seepage across the blood-brain barrier.
So the reasons for my nightmares was just because of a gravity leak.
There is your residence, and here, in this section of flooring, the insulation gel is corroded. I've already contacted maintenance about having it repaired.
How did you ever figure that out, Dr. Cook?
Well, I guess I could give you a long-winded theory about dream analysis and subconscious imagery, but none of it really adds up to much when you look at the big picture. So I guess I'll just have to answer your question by saying I was inspired.
Extraordinary, simply extraordinary.
Yes, it'd be quite stunning if those galactic coordinates actually do lead to a new Earth, as Dr. Gerardo suspects.
Please. I wasn't referring to that wild goose chase. I was speaking only of the ridiculous suggestion that as an artificial symbiotic life form, Ani has actually transformed to a human. Did you see the way she just assaulted me?
As only a human could. Come on, stop your grousing. I've just lost my director of medicine, my primary alien physiologist, my head of EV Med, and my new resident for the next 13 weeks. Let's get Rima down here.
Present and accounted for.
Good. Let's get busy. We have rounds to make.
Tell me you're coming with me.
I'm thinking.
Well, I've been doing a lot of that, too. And I've been thinking that I really need to deal with my past before I'm able to move forward. I imagine that you can relate to that.
Are you saying that I'm your past?
Tell me you're coming with me.
I think that it's time that we both saw the truth.
Transformation.
Coming up next on the Jerry Springer Show, Tiffany thinks it's bad enough that her boyfriend is a stripper. But tonight, she'll learn that he wants to be an adult film actor, too. Stay tuned for the Jerry Springer Show, next on UPN 20 WDCA.
Watch Sister Sister weeknights at 5 and 5:30.